Well, here we
are.
are.
Well, listeners, sometimes we talk for an hour before we record.
I think it's more than an hour.
I think sometimes we just get into it. We gotta catch up, things happen, and then we have to pretend like we just have to have a light conversation with you, but then we don't really have it.
Wait, the only thing I do want to repeat, because I thought of it when I was watching this movie, and I was like, oh, that'd be a silly joke, is, listeners, I mowed my lawn today, and I know that doesn't sound like anything important, but there will be a part of this movie where I will reference that again.
Stupid.
And I'm not sorry about that. So that's my only update.
Katie also paid someone to weed whack.
I did.
$20 part of her lawn. Can we know the going rate for weed whacking? Can anyone email us and let us know?
What is the going rate? Because this man did not.
Because he seemed really excited, and so Katie thinks she maybe started out too high.
I asked the guy, I was like, how much would you want? And then he was like, how much are you willing to pay? And I was like,
oh my god,
I don't know.
Wait, we know that he didn't, that like he meant weed whacking, right?
Oh my god, definitely. If he meant the other thing, I would have been like, that's cheaper, I guess. But no, I'm just kidding. I didn't need weed whacking that bad.
Hot damn.
No, my. He was a nice guy. I don't know. He's like one of the neighbors. So I'm like, I guess I'll see you again. I don't know. Good luck with your life.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. How are you? Hi. That was extra fun because there's a little bit of a lag on the video chat. So I was like, you're doing something. Oh, I heard it here. Welcome back, listeners. We are not with the dinos. We're not on the island. We are in spirit, but thank God not in real life.
Yo, well, I know we gotta say who we are, but
the
funniest thing to share about this movie.
I can't wait. Going. I don't think I know many fun facts about this movie, so I'm excited for that. All right, I'm gonna introduce ourselves. So, listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And I don't know why this is coming to mind, but I'm going to do it. Sarah! Sarah! How many Sarahs are on this island? Oh my god, the writing.
Fun fact about Sarah, Julianne Moore later admitted that she only signed on to do this movie because she was trying to pay off her divorce settlement.
Oh, girl!
Ockies!
She...
What's the movie, Kate?
Oh god, okay, let's not screw this up now. The movie is... The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which this is the direct sequel to Jurassic Park. We could have just called it Jurassic Park 2, but we didn't. So it's all good. It's all good, people. And Jurassic Park is my favorite movie. This is not my second favorite movie. Not even in the top 50, maybe.
As we know, the best year for movies is 1993.
Wow, yeah.
Jurassic Park came out in 1993. This came out 4 years later. In those 4 years, Laura Dern was dating Jeff Goldblum all the way up till this movie.
What?
And then they didn't because I think then he started dating Angelina Jolie. Then she started dating Billy Bob Thornton at this time, who then they broke up because Billy Bob Thornton was dating Angelina Jolie. But can we just see Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern together? Because I cannot. Can you?
Bridget, I don't know what was going on
This is what ruined the movie for me. I was like, Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern? Laura Dern!
They're both very tall. Maybe that's something. I don't know. I thought he kind of looked alright in this movie. I don't know. The hair was shorter than the first movie, so I was kind of like, okay. But maybe I was just really bored also.
I have I have so many opinions about this, and they're not good. They're not good, Kiwi.
Well, I will...
I didn't like it.
Okay, it's just fine, because you're not alone
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
I'm going to do the synopsis.
Okay, but wait, I want to add, this is one of my funny things that I want to add.
Okay, yeah.
So, because I love pointing out all things AI, since my world is all things AI.
Lord.
And originally, I tried to watch this on Peacock.
Wait, me too!
But then it didn't work. Did you know? Well, my thing kept dying, but I have a
mine was
TV.
like, you have to make an account and pay us money. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, Peacock.
You should have texted me. I have one, and I only have one because Paris Hilton's series was on Peacock, so I bought Peacock for Paris.
Okay.
But they clearly picked like an AI generator for the quick little sentence under this movie, and I cannot wait to read it to you. And then I moved, because then my TV kept like not working, so then I moved to Amazon, because all I do is fucking pay Amazon for these fucking movies.
I paid Amazon too.
Okay, and then I'll read you the difference. Okay, that's all I want to say, and then you'll kick off your synopsis. So this is Peacock's one sentence.
Oh, Lord.
6 years after the disaster at Isla Nublar, sorry, I must have read that wrong.
Was that AI part?
Maybe that was the AI. Mercenaries and scientists pursue genetically engineered dinosaurs inhabiting a Costa Rican island.
What? Why did they say it like that? Just call them fucking dinos. Mercenaries is a strong word. I don't think that's what InGen refers to themselves as, personally, but wow.
That was the Peacock version, so I was like, okay, did any human look at this at all? Okay.
Ever.
And then the Amazon one, which to me is like much better Amazon. Steven Spielberg, action-packed sequel, finds a group of scientists and hunters trapped on an island teeming, I think it says teeming, but it's spelled Teming. So this is where they did this wrong. With prehistoric monsters, which I thought was way better.
Wait, they still can't say dinos, though, guys.
I know, why can't I even say dinos?
So weird.
But yeah, I laughed so hard, and I just couldn't wait to tell you about the Peacock one. So Peacock, if you're listening, which by the way, I don't think you are, but I am connected with some of your big wig people on LinkedIn, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll work there. And
there's still time.
I have to say, I'm quite disappointed in the use of AI for your nostalgic movies.
I would love that job, by the way, of just coming up with the tagline.
So good at that. Well, I think that's like the problem. Everyone's like, AI, we don't need to pay people cost savings. And you're like, but experience.
But the genetically modified dinos.
But mercenaries and scientists pursue genetically engineered. And then I was like, ooh, Costa Rica.
They were in Costa Rica. Or it's like an island off of Costa Rica.
So
I have my own questions about, timelines of geography that I don't think are going to get answered by the movie. But, okay. So, this is the sequel to Jurassic Park.
It is.
We have Jeff Goldblum back. He is Dr. Ian Malcolm. He was with the dinos on the island. He is the only person... There's other characters from the first one that, make an appearance, but he's, the only one that's, actually in the movie from the first one. We have no Sam Neill. We have no Laura Dern. The 2 kids are there, but they don't...
They're gone.
Yeah, just kind of say weird stuff, and then they literally walk off the screen, and we never see them again. And I was like, that's a weird exit, but okay. So, anywho, because this is after Jurassic Park, Dr. Ian Malcolm broke his NDA, which this part makes me laugh hysterically. And I'm like, who the fuck is that going to hold up in Dino Court that there was an NDA that you can't talk about people who got eaten?
There has to be a Dino Court. That does not exist.
That he is, basically, people don't believe him when he was like, there's an island and crazy dinos! And everyone's like, no, you made that up. But there was an island, and apparently we come to find that John Hammond, who, from the events of Jurassic Park, his board of directors are like, you know what? You're not fit to be CEO, something. We're gonna give it to the other white guy, who's your nephew, who's an evil British man. I don't know how that makes sense, but somebody wrote that, and that's what we're doing. So John Hammond's like, you know what? Here's the dealio, Ian Malcolm. There is another island with dinos. dinos. It's literally next door. I know we never spoke about it, and nobody looked at it in the helicopter ride from the first movie, but it's been there the whole time. And also, that's where we would raise the little dinos, and we just, like, left them there, and now they're thriving. It's like dino, like, 5-star resort. Like, they're, like, living their best lives. But anyway, I don't own the company anymore, so, like, go to the island and, like, take pictures so that the public is like, yay, dinos. That is the setup, by the way.
Because the board's gonna come in and shut us down!
Oh my god!
Excuse me, Mr. trying to, like, sell, merchandise and...
Okay, And Ian Malcolm calls him out on that at one point. So, of course, Malcolm's like, this is stupid. He was like, why would you ask me of all people? Like, I'm the worst person to ask. And then we find out, LOL, Dr. Ian Malcolm has a girlfriend who is Julianne Moore, who apparently is also a paleontologist, something. And she is already on the island by herself. And nobody's going to be there for days. And everybody's normal about it. And I have questions. And then that's when...
I can't.
That's when Jeff Goldblum's like, gotta get to the Dino Island. So that's how we get Jeff Goldblum.
Okay, I'm sorry, but just so you all know, listeners, that was like the first 8 minutes of
that was. I'm so sorry. That really was.
It was.
But it's important for context.
I know, you needed to explain that, but I just,
Yes.
as a viewer, was like, what in the literal fuck?
Yeah, it's
if
like,
you're trying to just literally record the book that was written on this, I'm tired.
Yeah, like, how did we fucking get here? And then we go to the island, and this is Isla Sorna, not Isla Nuclear, which is Nublar, as Bridget said. There's some other people. We got a young Vince Vaughn. He's the film guy. He's gonna film stuff, LOL.
I cannot.
Julianne Moore. There's another guy. He's so nice. I don't know his name. He is like technology. We bring a bunch of fucking cars and RVs with us. There's 4 people. Why do we need 80 RVs? Let me know. No one's gonna answer it. It's fine. And Jeff Goldblum's daughter, who is the girl from Harriet the Spy, I want to point out. Her name is Kelly. She literally sneaks on. She's like, hey, Dad, time to hang out. And he's like, actually, I have to go to the Dino Island. Bye, bitch. And then she's like, I'm going to join you. And she sneaks on. And I'm like, you know what? Good for you. But it's not good. But it's not good because, as you can guess, there are dinos. And it's crazy. So InGen, which is the company that made the first park, this is part of the problem with this movie. I know it sounds like it's a problem with me, but this is actually a problem with the movie. There's a lot of lore. There's
so
a
much
lot.
fucking plot.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
I feel like I'm
start.
like Pee Wee Herman, or I'm like, and now Exhibit A. Like, now we're over here, and don't worry, there's 80 more things I have to tell you.
God.
InGen, who is now owned by the evil British nephew, comes in and they're like, we're gonna capture dinos because we actually do want to make another park. But the other people, who is Jeff Goldblum and those gaggle of people, they're there to take pictures. And they don't know about each other there. And it's crazy. And basically, a lot of hootenanny shenanigans via dino murder. As you do in Jurassic Park. They end up having to work together to survive because the 80,000 vehicles we brought all got pushed off a cliff. I don't know why we parked next to a cliff. It's fine. And now it's like survival and it's crazy. And at the end, which I know I referenced this in the last episode talking about the movie, is their T-Rex ends up in, I thought it was New York City. It's not. It's San Diego. And then it turns into Godzilla for 10 minutes.
I cannot.
Then the movie ends. And I don't know. And then it ends on happy dino families. What?
Listen, the lost world, I was lost.
We're all lost.
Honest, you're all lost.
We're all lost. Colin, we're lost.
At one point, the movie, in my mind, ended, and I was like, awesome. Like, that was pretty good. And then I just realized it was, like, the middle, where then we were going back to San Diego. I was like, but I thought we made it out of the island alive. I thought that's the end. It wasn't the end. It's not the end.
It's not the end. You think it's the end, but it's not the end because we needed to do Godzilla for a little bit. So
I am happy to do our sequential review, but
Yeah.
I would prefer a little speeding of it.
Okay.
Because, I want to talk about all the characters in this movie, I feel like just did not work together.
Oh, yeah.
And
not a lot of good communication, not some collaboration.
I was thinking about the first movie was really interesting because it was like businessman and then like super excited scientist. And then you only had Jeff Goldblum as like, I don't know, nervous Nelly. And they both, even though it was like rich guy and then super scientist, they all were excited about this idea of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But starting the movie off with like this super like kind of pessimistic dude set the tone to be like this like dark cloud. So then when you had Julianne Moore to be like, I love dinosaurs, that was confusing because then Vince Vaughn was supposed to love dinosaurs, but he was just there for the chicks. Direct quote.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And then,
where are the ladies on the Dino Island? Let me know.
And then
Jesus.
Jeff Goldblum is dating, like they have nothing in common because they can't, so I just was like, the casting pissed me off.
I also felt like the reactions, like, globally in this movie were, like, weird a lot of times. Where, like, there was no moment where it was like, oh my god, awe and wonder at these dinos.
Yes!
Like, well, I mean, we'll get there with the InGen scene, but I was like, is anyone care you're seeing a dino for the first time in the flesh? Nobody cares? Okay, that's great.
And
it's
I want to clarify something. So we had the park with the actual, like, fences and the whole thing. But then this was like a secret island that they made at the same time as the park.
Yeah.
But so what happened to the park? Because when we ran away from the park...
It's still there.
So what about the dinos there?
They're there.
So we still have two...
There's two,
parks, but we don't go to both. We just deal with the one.
We just go to one.
And we didn't go to the one with electric fences. We went to the one without fences.
We did. We sure fucking did.
Fucking hate everybody.
I don't know how it makes sense, but
okay, all right, here we are. So,
and, Bridge, do have to point out, maybe this was part of the downfall. There was no cold open. I actually don't remember if the first movie has one, but I just have a feeling it might have. But we start off in a similar sense of like, okay, there's some like people who think life is good, and then a dino attack. And Bridge, I want to ask you, what did you think of when you watched this scene of an 11-year-old girl off screen getting attacked by tiny little, they're called compies? What did you think of, Bridge? What was a shared memory of ours?
Oh, were you thinking of the stingrays that got you?
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking of the stingrays, but maybe I should have.
What were you thinking of?
Okay, do you remember when you, me, Mom, and Mary was little, were at that hotel in PA, and the geese! And
the geese attacked Mary? Or was it you?
Well,
who got attacked?
It was me and Mary, but Mary was so little, and when she was holding the french fries, and then the geese swarmed her, and they were taller than her because she was so little, and I was trying to help, but the geese came out of nowhere, and then Mom literally flipped a table, no joke, and ran out of the building to save us. And
what the fuck was I doing? Was I just watching from afar?
You might have been like, I have a feeling you were doing like lacrosse, like PT stuff, like by yourself.
No, I felt like I was there.
In a field. Were you there? I don't know.
I was like working out.
You were probably like working out, and we're all like, ah! That's what I always think of that with this scene. I'm like, wow, we almost died.
Yo, a freaking geese, whatever. When at my old company I used to work at, there was like a gym in the facility, and there used to be this little pond, and they would block like a bridge for you to run over, and I always remember being like, these are some nasty motherfuckers. Like, they'll fuck you up.
They wanted those french fries, and I will never forget Mary's screams, because she was like, ah! Like, she was like little. She wasn't injured.
Poor Mary.
She was just scared, rightfully so. And the same thing happens with this little girl.
And there's this like super wealthy family that has this private yacht, and they end up on this. They just happen to end up on Dino Island. No signs.
They don't know it's Dino Island.
Yeah. How are there not like giant signs like this is Dino Island? And little girl, when she presumably, to me, gets like eaten by the little dinosaurs, which I kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
I started screaming at the TV because I was like, "Are you gonna kill a child?"
Well,
they don't
fucking
fucking 5 million.
John Hammond makes a comment like, "A little girl got attacked. she's fine. Don't ask any more questions about it, Jeff Goldblum. And he's like, I guess I won't. And I'm like, I have questions about it.
But that family then wanted to sue, and that's what kicked off the board being like, John, you're done. Which, by the way, this is a moment I want to bring up our brother Jimmy. And I'm only bringing it up for his bestie John, who listens. Because our brother Jimmy dressed up.
Oh my God!
Identical to John Hammond for Halloween and made our niece Jenny
spared no expense.
Be an actual dinosaur. And every time now I see John Hammond, I just thought of our brother Jimmy, and I thought in the parody movie we will make eventually, he can play John Hammond, and that's where my brain went. But
only if he, like, while talking to us, then we'll, like, fart in our faces, but as John Hammond, like, that's the only way.
I want him to talk about how there's, like, a third island no one knew about, and, like, then, like, the absurdities that happen on the island.
That might be the plot of the third movie, because I blacked out. I feel like there's so many Dino Islands, and I'm like, can we just label them better? But the transition that we get from the little girl screaming in agony, the mom is like, ah! And then the very next fucking scene is Jeff Goldblum standing in front of a, like, Bahamas mural, yawning, and then he gets on the subway.
Yeah.
Who decided that? Why was that the thing?
By the way, this is how you know. I wanna talk about this. In the internet of today, okay? Apparently Jeff Goldblum, went against his NDA and talked about the dinosaurs, and everyone's like, that man's crazy, and he was all over the news. And when he went to the subway, he had two people look at him. And that made him feel weird.
Welcome to the subway,
the internet.
bitch.
Yeah, like literally right now, you just like, I end up on the internet because I'm like swinging my child wrong on like the swings, and my whole world has gone down. But poor Jeff Goldblum in 1997 had two people look at him in the subway. I was like, yo, this is how you know the internet didn't exist.
I just wrote that. I'm like, the subway's never fun for anyone. Like, I don't know why you're like surprised now that like someone's being weird to you. Like, don't go on there.
But then I also thought it was weird when he went to John Hammond's house and he's like, kids! And it's Lex and Tim. I thought, what, and they run down the
stairs. And
these
like,
fucking two?
And I was like, okay.
And then we literally never see them again. I go, how much did they get paid? That was like 4 seconds.
They talk for like 5 seconds. And then this is where the evil nephew appears and starts British accent speaking. And then Jeff Goldblum speaks to him. And then you see in the background the two kids stand there awkwardly for like 1 second. And then they just shuffle away. And I was like, bye forever.
Forever.
Good luck with your life. We'll never know how it goes. Oh my God.
I also was so mad. I was like, oh yeah, Laura Dern isn't in this, but she literally saved the movie.
Oh.
And she's not allowed back for the sequel.
Yes.
But yet she's dating Jeff Goldblum and he's the star. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay, here we are. I mean, I know they said no, but also, it's just crazy.
Yeah, well,
all right. But
what's this?
Okay,
what?
Hold on. Ian Malcolm, I remember in the first movie, Ian Malcolm is all about, like, he's like a player, right? He's always like, he's got lots of kids, and he dates lots of women.
Hitting on everyone.
He's hitting on everyone. So he would never ever go back to the island because, hello, we saw the first movie. Who the fuck's going back there? Except his girlfriend, who's Julianne Moore, who's Dr. Sarah Harding, is already there. And she's already there because if she told him, he wouldn't let her go. So now he's going to go be a hero and save her, but she doesn't really want him there.
Here's my question,
What
Bridge.
do we think about all
Here's
that?
the question. I have all the questions. This is the first one. Did she have any equipment with her when she was sent by herself? Because I feel like they find her and all she has is a backpack, and then she's like, oh great, you have like a car. And I was like, what? You've been here for like 4 days by yourself? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? John Hammond has all the money. What do you mean? I don't understand how this like setup took place, but I guess we gotta get Jeff Goldblum on the island.
Well,
I don't know.
And this is also what didn't make sense is, so then you're thinking to yourself, all right, maybe she's a Navy SEAL. Maybe she's a Marine. Maybe she's a badass. A Stegosaurus almost kills her in the first 4 seconds, which that doesn't make any sense because she just survived for 4 days like, fucking G.I. Jane.
It's true. It's fucking true. Did she have food? Then she goes in a whole monologue how it's like, leave no trace. And then Jeff Goldblum is like, that's, like, not real. Like, us being here is already a trace. So
we're the trace.
We're the trace.
Also, she had to get in the face of the baby Stegosaurus, and that's what, like, caused them to lose their shit, because her camera roll went off. I was like, get out of fucking town with this.
Yeah, you are already ruining the ecosystem, Julianne Moore.
Well, and then the other thing that was weird about her is she was like, everyone thinks that these animals are this way, but as we know, as I'm seeing, they're actually that way. And I'm like, but is this an important discovery?
But do I care? Right.
Like, because, like, isn't it cooler that they're just alive?
Yes, but
Okay.
Bridge, remember what I said, no one cares, no one has reactions, there's no emotions to the awe and wonder of motherfucking dinos. It's just weird dialogue and guns. So Jeff Goldblum teams up. We do see young Vince Vaughn. He is wearing a weird hat. I don't know why he put it on his head, but he did. And then some other guy, and this is where the stepdaughter's like, hey, Dad, let's hang out. And he's like, nah, let's not. I gotta go, bye.
Yo, who was the other guy's name? What was his name?
Let's look it up.
Is it Eddie Carr? I think it was Richard Schiff is the actor, Eddie Carr. He was like the gadget guy that came with them. Vince Vaughn was the cameraman. Jeff Goldblum saving...
Eddie Carr. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Vince Vaughn was this famous photographer that was, like, in the Peace Corps, so he's, like, one of the good guys.
Sure.
And he also only went for women, direct quote, to, like, sleep with a lot of women. And he doesn't seem to be that excited about dinosaurs, but he was very excited about...
Nobody fucking cares about the dinosaurs.
But he literally was excited about his Pulitzer Prize winning picture.
Yeah.
Then, at some point in the movie, the plot twist is how he's the secret weapon from John Hammond, because he's also, like, a Marine or something. And then he has a bolt cutters and lets out dinos. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
When he's like, I'm the secret weapon, I was like, with a wrench? Is that the wrench is the secret weapon?
Okay.
Because I feel like we have wrenches at the car, Like, I don't think it's just you.
I'm going to talk about a couple things. So, first of all, Michael Crichton was the original author, right?
Yes.
Of Jurassic Park. And then they were like, oh shit, this blew up and was amazing. Like, we're going to force you to write this other book. And apparently the book is way better than the movie, like, whatever.
I think I read the book, and I don't think it's like the movie. But the first one wasn't like the movie to a T. It was, like, a little different.
So, when he made the second book, like, he rushed that. And then Steven Spielberg, who directed this, was also in the process of creating DreamWorks.
Oh my gosh!
So it was like the same time frame, and he's like, I don't know if I could direct this. And they're like, but Steven, Jurassic Park.
Steven's like, I gotta get ready for Shrek.
Well, and so he's like,
Shrek.
And he's like, okay, I'll do both or whatever. And so I think he was rushed and distracted. And the only reason Vince Vaughn was in this movie is because Swingers, which is what put Vince Vaughn on the map, and that's what, like, made him a star, they wanted to use some music from Jaws, so they went to Steven Spielberg and was like, can we use your music? So then he watched Swingers, he saw Vince Vaughn, was like, you know what, I'm just gonna throw you in this movie, and I just think everything was a last-minute fucking decision. Julianne Moore is just doing this to pay off her divorce, like, everyone is just showing up to, like, just get shit done that has nothing to do with the art.
I mean, it's the same vibe they had showing up to the dinos, where they're like, whatever,
they're like, we gotta keep going!
Yes.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Get fucking on with it. Oh my god. Alright, well, we get to the island, and again, it is Jeff Goldblum, Vince Vaughn, the Eric guy, and then the daughter who snuck on, and Lottie do. And then we do find Julianne Moore. She almost gets killed by Stegos. She don't. I did abbreviate a lot of dino names, I gotta say. I don't know if that was conscious or not. But Stegos. Those were fun. That's one thing I'll say about this movie is they knew they had to include different types of dinosaurs. They're like,
yes,
everybody loves the T-Rex, everybody loves the Velociraptors, that's fine, but, like, let's do some new ones. So you do see some new ones in this movie, which is cool. But, again, nobody, like, cares that much. They're just like, there it is. I don't know. Bye.
Well, and I the CGI...
It was not my favorite, I know. And
the little dinosaurs were kind of lame-o.
I feel like the ones in the daytime, I was like, I feel like they don't look as good as when they did in 1993, and there were some daytime dino shots in there. But then some of the nighttime ones were like, okay. It was weird, but pretty quickly...
But the actual T-Rex looked pretty boss. And that was actually animatronic.
Thank God.
It was so intense that they built them first and then did the set around them.
Ooh.
Yeah. But they looked the best. They looked the best. They did. Even the Stegos were a little lame. I was like, all right.
The baby Stego, I was like, okay, I could see that at like Chuck E. Cheese or whatever.
Ooh!
Sorry! Stan Winston, I love you. I take it back.
I do love him, Stan Winston.
Okay, so then Ian Malcolm is like, Sarah, how could you do that? And she's like, whatever, I don't need to be rescued. And it's kind of like, that would be a cool theme if we cared and it was important, but it's not. So then InGen is like, let's break this up. We're gonna helicopter in. There are billions of helicopters, billions of more cars. The pollution is gonna be out of control on this island, I gotta say.
You don't think there's a Snickers wrapper there now? Absolutely. There's a water bottle.
There's cigarette butts. There's
human poop. We're fucked.
Not fucking good. So they're like, what are they doing here? Let's go spy on them. And this is the part where I was like, why doesn't anyone care that you're seeing dinosaurs? Is all these not mercenaries, as Peacock claims. They're just like InGen workers who are riding in cars. We don't see the scene of unloading cars from helicopters that probably took 8 hours. It kind of felt like it took 20 minutes to like get out of a helicopter and go on a drive. And they're just, like, shooting at dinos to, like, capture them. Like, they're not killing them, but they're, like, capturing them. And then Jeff Goldblum and all them are like, oh, that's sad. And you're like, okay.
I don't believe it. Because
like,
the Ian Malcolm I know is like,
he would probably be like,
burn.
Woo!
He would be like, put a bomb on this island. And all of a sudden, he's like, whoa, don't shoot that tranquilizer.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
The very next scene is absolutely no transition. It's like, anyway, now it's nighttime and we built an entire fucking camp. Not only did we build a camp, we built dino holding pens, which I do feel we would have needed construction equipment, but I didn't see those in the helicopter, so it's fine. And all these dinos are in cages. And that's where Vince Vaughn pulls out a wrench and says, I'm the solution.
They were like, what do we do now? And he literally said, I'm the secret weapon.
And
I was like, Vince Vaughn, the way you treated Jennifer Aniston in the breakup, you can sit the fuck down. Damn. I am not interested.
I mean,
wait. I do want to talk about real quick though the awesome hunter dude who was Roland.
Pete Postlethwaite. I can't say it. Yes. He's in James and Giant Peach.
I think he's somewhat. I think he's in a lot of other movies, but I love that reference.
So.
He kind of helped. So he was like the lead hunter, and all he wanted to do was like take down the T-Rex out of like whatever pride, I guess, but hated the rich guy, and that was like a really fun and interesting dynamic. And he also like kept them all alive and knew how to fight the jungle. And I don't know, I thought his character was cool, but everyone around him, I was just like confused on the vibe. You know what I mean? I'm like, are they all evil? Are they all like, no, we're just hunters and we hate rich people? I don't know.
Yeah, like, what's your morals and values, people? Like, where do you stand on liking dinos and not liking dinos?
I didn't know who liked him or didn't.
Who's a fan, who hates it, who watched Barney growing up, who didn't.
Well,
we don't know.
It was weird, too, because in the first Jurassic Park, John Hammond's like, he come to my cool little, like, amusement park dino thing. But in this one, they all know what they're getting into. So it's like, well, it's like Aliens too, you know? It's like, oh shit, but none of them were scared.
They weren't scared and they just weren't prepared, Bridge. I feel like mentally, emotionally, I don't know. But Vince Vaughn is like, well, guys, with this wrench, we're going to release all the dinos. I don't know how we're going to do this safely. We don't really focus on that. We just see literally all these dinos getting taken out, and then they run rampant and destroy the camp. And you're like, all right, that's crazy. And then the next fucking scene is there's a whole subplot with the baby T-Rex.
So the Roland guy really wants to take down the, like, dad T-Rex. So he captures the baby T-Rex and use it as bait to get the parents T-Rex back, but they, like, injured him in the midst of it, and then they tried to free the baby T-Rex, but I would then just leave it, but then they want to fix its broken leg and do an x-ray in an RV?
It does become vet tech time in our trailer, and it's also raining, and guys, if it's fucking nighttime and it's raining, if you're in Jurassic Park and it's nighttime and it's raining, there will be T-Rexes.
It's terrible.
So don't fucking do it, you guys.
Don't do it. If the weatherman says it's rain, there's gonna be a T-Rex.
Rain equals T-Rex. It's so bad. And there's also an equipment that's called
I can't. I was like, if I only had an edible before this film, I would have giggled so hard at the high. Because
what is that attached to?
Why isn't this a ride? Because I would be down for this ride.
Above the tree line. I was like, you can't be in a tree if you're above the trees. Like, what are you talking about?
To your point on equipment, they, like, rolled up in, like, a helicopter. I'm like, so you built, like, a skyscraper?
Yeah.
Like, elevator?
I don't know.
What are the physics? I don't get it.
I don't fucking know, but Jeff Goldblum has to, like, rock climb belay out of there. I don't know why we couldn't have lowered it. Like, there's so many choices, and I was like, none of it's not.
Well, and here's what was annoying. It's like, the daughter didn't need to be there.
No.
She didn't. It was a lot. We already had the girlfriend plot with Julianne Moore. We didn't need also the daughter to be stressed about. And so, she was the only one that used the high.
We need a kid. Like, they're like, the first one had kids, so we need, like, at least one kid.
LOL. I guess, but
I'm like, there's like 800
weird.
people. There's like 800 people on the island. Like,
so many people. And then even when they go in the high, nobody picks up their phone, so then they can't be like true lookout people, because when the dinos come, they push that fucking RV off that cliff.
All right, Bridge. Here we go. This is a nostalgic memory. Mainly for me, I feel like you're not going to have any fucking idea what I'm talking about. At our family vacation place that we went to year after year for many years, there was I don't know. It's not like an arcade. What do we call that? Like a game room?
Yeah, game room.
Okay. The game room that was near the nightclub, they had a game in there. It was, I'm pretty sure, the Lost World Jurassic Park game.
Okay.
And I played this game so often. I beat it, like, a stupid amount of times. Because sometimes when you're 11 and all your family is older... very drunk.
You're like, what do I do with them?
I'm like, I'm alone. Let me play the dino game. And the double T-Rex was like the best part of that game. And you do like a scene that's similar to this one where it's like, 2 T-Rexes. Now you gotta shoot them. Good luck. And I was like, this is crazy. And listen, I'll give them that, is they knew they had to up it a little. They couldn't just do one T-Rex. They're like, how do we make it a little different? We're gonna make it a mom and a dad T-Rex. They're in a loving, happy, committed relationship, apparently. Who knew?
And remember we learned in the first Jurassic Park that they're like, they're all females. So they can't mate. And then
now they're men.
Alan Grant's like, I found eggs, so they had, like, these 2 women can now make babies. But in this movie, we just ignore that, and then, like, there's dudes born? Is that what happens?
Yeah, we also ignore the lysine deficiency, which gets asked about, and then there's some bullshit answer. Because there was that whole thing where it's like, the humans have to be there to feed the dinos because we took out a gene that's needed to survive, and we have to give it to them in their food. And then there's no people feeding them, and then Julianne Moore's character is like, I know how they survive. They eat beans! Beans! What are you fucking talking about?
In the Lord?
That is the worst explanation. It was explained in one sentence.
I absolutely believe Goya was behind this plot. Like,
she turns to the camera like, these beans.
She's like, Black Beans by Goya. Yo, what?
It's just, I don't know. But I gotta say, as stupid as it is, this this is a fun scene.
So this is another thing, is you're like, okay. I hated the plot, but now we're dealing with an RV going off. Yep. People are flying.
Love it.
There's blood. There's window smashing. Julianne Moore smashes the bottom of it.
Oh my god, the glass part. Oh my god,
and the glass. So and then they have to climb a rope. And then the guy, Eddie, who dies, like with kind of this like heroic moment because he saves them. And then they climb up the rope and you're just like, this is awesome.
Yep.
And then the rest of the movie did not deliver that type of action. No. And I was so annoyed.
No.
Because I was just waiting for that. And you're supposed to build up to the awesome action. Instead, we started high and fell off a literal cliff again.
And this brings me back to my point. Why is your camp set up at the edge of the cliff? You have all these vehicles and they're on the edge of the cliff.
I don't know Somebody how they got there. I don't get it. How many helicopters do we need for an RV?
So many.
That's got to be like 8 helicopters.
There's so many fucking helicopters. But somehow Julianne Moore, Jeff Goldblum, and Vince Vaughn survive, and this is where we team up with the InGen people, and they're like, "You messed up our camp," and they're like, "Well, you were taking dinos, and that's crazy." And they were also taking dinos because they wanted to make a dinosaur theme park in San Diego. I'm sorry. What?
I cannot.
Hello, where? Are you gonna? What do you mean? You're gonna evict people and put dino? Okay, it's fine.
They showed a little miniature stadium of where the dinos would be, and I was like, I feel like I'm in Zoolander right now.
Yeah, the dino.
It needs to be at least 5 times bigger than that. But here's the thing. You're like, that guy Roland.
Yes.
Pete Fossil something. I can't say his name.
Yeah, that guy.
He saved them because he was like, okay, yes. Y'all are boring. I gotta act the fuck out of this movie. So I'm going to lead us into the jungle. He was like so good. And then everyone just kind of followed suit.
Yes.
But I gotta say, his thing was like, so we gotta go through the carnivore area. And then you're like, oh shit, that's gonna be nuts. But it wasn't nuts. Because all of a sudden, it just was a T-Rex showed up and almost ate the 2 of them by kind of sniffing its nose in a tent. And then it just chased them and started eating people. I'm like, where's the cool fucking build-up and the hype and the anxiety? Nothing.
No anxiety.
They just showed up to a tent like it was like literally a firefly outside the tent.
Everybody took Quaaludes. All right, we had a rough night the night before. Nobody's magically waking up to the ground shaking.
The ground shakes, and all of a sudden we turn around and the T-Rex is behind us. Stop it. That was the coolest part of the first movie, is once the ground shook, or the water thing, you had to fucking fly, because you knew he was coming.
Well, even the whole thing where it was like, if you don't move, it can't see you. And I was like, Is anybody gonna
follow that?
Why don't we just communicate, everybody? But yeah, we don't do that. Also, that character Roland calls them a movable feast, and I thought that was very funny. And I was like, that's the truth, actually, because now everybody's running and it's dumb, and I can't keep count of who dies. There's a lot of deaths in this
Everyone dies.
Everyone dies. Everyone you don't know dies. Oh, there was also that guy from Fargo who's in this. He dies. I don't know the character. The one who had the electric shock thingy that he did to the little dino, and then the little dinos ate him. That guy. Peter Stormare. Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes off to pee, and then that doesn't go good for him.
And he dies.
Which, by the way, that was such a shitty scene, because you knew he was eventually going to die, and they dragged it out, and then he goes behind a log, and, like, you just see the river turn red. I was like, what is this, 4th grade directing, Steven?
I did feel that scene was set up that way, because there must have been some really enthusiastic Stan Winston interns who were like, Stan, we made the little green dino animatronics, and they can't move a lot, but if you put them on someone's back, they can move their head, and it looks like they're biting, and they were like, well, we can do that, I guess, but then we're gonna have to kill them off screen.
Exactly, there's no way that it would, like...
There's no way.
It would have been cool to, like, rip an eyeball out or something, you know?
And
you know me, I'm not the horror type, but I just wanted to see something. Instead, we just see, like, red blood. I don't know. It's just weird.
There was a lot of bullshit like that. And after the second T-Rex attack, now there's not a lot of them, and then everybody's like panic running, and this is the part, let's bring it back to Katie's lawn. We get to a field, and some guy goes, don't go into the long grass. And I was like, that's like my backyard before I mowed it. That's my lawn before the weed whacking guy came. But they go in there, and I think at some point somebody did mention this, but again, the reactions are weird, where they're like, there's velociraptors. In the first movie, it was the same thing where it was like the velociraptors were like, like the music stops and we all pause, and it's like terrible. In this one, the velociraptors are little sharks, their tails are fins, kind of gives away that they're coming, and then they just start attacking people, and there's literally a scene where one guy gets like pulled under and attacked, and some guy's standing next to him, and that guy doesn't give a shit and keeps walking. Hello? Guys.
I'm totally with you. There was no build-up.
Oh my god.
It was very Children of the Corn.
Yo, I wish Isaac was there with the dinos. Get the
only
out.
Cool thing about it is there was an overhead shot, and like you would see five Velociraptor like grass kind of indentation. That was cool because you saw them coming. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And then the other thing is, the whole thing was like, if you're in their territory, they're going to eat you. But in the first movie, it was more like, you knew they were coming after you because you're, like, in their space. But in this case, I'm like, but, like, so no like, how do they live if no dinosaurs come in their territories? You know what I mean?
I felt like
so
in the first movie,
confused.
The dino motivation, if we had, like, the... what is that called, that show where it's, like, actors with actors? If we had, like, dinos with dinos, I feel like they would have been like, my motivation as a character in the first movie was that I was just hungry all the time. Whereas in this movie, it wasn't like just to eat people. It was like, I don't know, they kept talking about that.
Well, and even for them, like if I'm the raptor, I'm like, alright, so you're in a spot. That's weird. But they then just started eating them. I'm like, but they're so smart. Maybe they wanted to like wait and be smart and not just like eat them all the time.
No.
And I don't know. They just like ate them.
I don't know.
They just kept eating them. They ate all of them.
I think these raptors were from a different bloodline because I don't think their smartness was up to par, especially considering the fact that one of them
I can't. Simone Biles kicks.
Simone Biles wouldn't even bother to do this because it was so dumb. And the buildup of Julianne Moore, you see a scene where Kelly's like looks really serious. She hasn't done anything all movie, by the way. And Julianne Moore's like, Kelly, no! And I was like, Kelly, no! It's so cringe! Don't do it, Kelly! She fucking does it. She does like a flip-de-doodle on some bar, and then she kicks the raptor out a window.
I just want you all to, if you don't remember this scene, imagine Simone Biles flipping on the high bars and going in circles, and then at one of her spins, a velociraptor is kicked in the face. Like, it is so absurd.
And she also goes, hey, you! And the raptor's like, huh? And I was like, it's not a cartoon.
I can't.
The raptor doesn't speak English. Like, it's okay, you guys.
It flies out the window and then somehow is gone. And then this is what I thought the movie ended. Because then the helicopters come because Vince Vaughn somehow is the hero that knows how to work the phone, and he gets to be the hero in this movie, which I hated. And then the helicopters come and they get away, and then everyone's like, we're the literal only couple people that survived.
Yep.
And then the movie's like halfway done. and you're gonna have to like, you have to help me, because then I just started falling asleep because I was like, what the fuck is happening?
As we're in a helicopter flying away from the island, again, who brought this? Do we have an invisible giant on the InGen staff? The T-Rex that the Roland guy tranquilized is in a cage. We're in a secluded part of the island. Who brought a cage? Let me know. Nobody answers it. It's fucking fine.
And we were on foot for a while.
We were on foot. Like, we were in the jungle. I don't know what's happening. And so then you're kind of like, that's weird. And Julianne Moore's like, oh no, that's not good. And then the very next scene from there is the evil British nephew man making the same speech that he was trying to basically live stream, but in 1997 version of it at the Dino Camp. He's doing the same shit.
With the board of directors.
He's like, donate money for the dinosaur park in San Diego. Here we are. And everyone's like, yay. And I'm like, why is this? It's like 10 o'clock at night. We're on a dusty pier. Is this the same day? Is this the next day? We don't fucking know. All we know is only Julianne Moore and Jeff Goldblum. We never see Vince Vaughn again. He's gone forever.
He's gone.
So is Kelly. She's gone forever. Hope they're doing well.
I don't think he's going to win that Pulitzer. I'm just going to say. I don't think he won it.
They appear and they're like, oh no, we have to like stop this. I was like, stop what? Where are we? What's happening? And you have a boat that has the T-Rex on it. It slams into the dock, which... I don't know.
Wait. So then they when they fly to San Diego, they see the T-Rex and they're like, okay, they're gonna take that T-Rex back to San Diego.
Yes,
because we're somehow all in San Diego.
They're doing the dino part. And then
the way they get there is a massive fucking boat.
Who's driving the boat?
The T-Rex. How did they lift the T-Rex on the boat? But then somehow the boat from Costa Rica to San Diego feels like a very intricate. What's
the boat ride timeline on that? What's the hours?
Who's
what's
navigating? Did the T-Rex wait just before they were a couple miles offshore to the exit to then eat them all? Because it just feels confusing.
I'm not kidding. This part of my notes, every sentence is a question. And one of the questions was, how the fuck did a T-Rex, which is like, I don't know, 800 feet tall, chomp a man's body in a small section so only his arm is left? Like, that was like in a room. I'm like, the T-Rex can't get in the room. Who chopped the arm? Is this boat just like filled with cannibals and we're blaming the T-Rex? Because something feels fishy. I feel like it needs to be Reddit thread. I don't fucking know. But the boat crashes and then Jeff Goldblum's like, la la la, let's get on here and see what's up. And then somebody lets the T-Rex out. You guys. What do you mean? We all were waiting here for the T-Rex on the boat, and you were surprised there was a T-Rex on the boat? What do you mean?
The boat crashes, and everyone gets in, and we just see this arm holding the button. And they're like, no! A rogue arm holding the button! Don't press that!
Somebody presses it! They fucking press it real quick. It's crazy.
I'm finally at peace that they're going to survive from dinosaurs. And then the T-Rex comes out and he's like, I need my baby. Which I was like, wait, how did we get the baby T-Rex here?
But is that the motivation? Because if we were in the Dino Actor Studio, I feel like they would have been like, actually, Steven Spielberg told me this is where I go back to eating everyone. And you're like, okay. Because the baby wasn't on the boat with it.
Well, I was like, how did the baby get back?
The baby's... I don't know where the baby was in a building, because then Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore get in a red convertible. I'm not making this up. It felt like Barbie. We're in a red convertible and we're speeding and we kidnap the baby from a building and then it's Godzilla. It's just Godzilla.
Well, and the only thing we learn about dinosaurs and T-Rexes is that they have great smells. And then she was like, we gotta steal the baby again because of their great smell to chase us.
Yeah, to the boat.
Back
like,
to the boat.
Back on the boat.
And if we don't save humanity, no one will.
I feel like InGen, could have handled it, instead of two humans who were unarmed. Yeah. But what do I know?
And I'm like, I know this baby T-Rex has got a bad leg, but, why isn't the baby T-Rex, literally kicking the shit out of all of them?
That's a great question. I had the same question. Literally wrote it here on my notes. Why isn't baby T-Rex biting Julianne Moore's face? Because she's, holding it. No answers to that. A dog gets eaten by T-Rex. I fucking hated Steven Spielberg. Do better. You need to show me a shot of the dog that ran away and it's laughing in the background while the T-Rex eats the doghouse, but you didn't do that and I'm upset. Anyway, we get the T-Rex on the boat bridge, and then they put the baby in the boat, and then Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore jump off the boat into the water, and then the evil British nephew man follows the baby. He's like, I want the baby! And I was like, what movie is this? Help me!
I think I was asleep at this part.
This is where the mom T-Rex comes. She, injures him, and then the baby eats him. And I was kind of like, okay.
So they took the mom back and the dad back?
I don't know who's the mom or dad. They don't have,
But two T-Rexes came to San Diego or just one T-Rex?
No, I think it was one.
Okay.
I think just one. And I don't know which one. But it's fine because after there's murder, then there's like a news broadcast where it's like, anyway, we all know about dinos now. And there's the boat with the T-Rex. It's going back to the island. I'm sorry.
Who's driving it?
Who's driving the boat? Because we all know how that went last time. Just saying. And then it's like, dino families living happily with moms and dads and babies have a family. And I was like, shut up, movie. Leave me alone.
If someone doesn't create a dino shipping container boat company.
Wow.
I don't know what they were doing in 1997. This was not it for me, Kate.
No, it's, I definitely, as a kid, I liked the movie because I think I didn't care about...
kept going.
And there's just dinos. Like, I was like, yay, more dinos, it's fun, and whatever. But then, yeah, you get older and you're like, wait, I need, like, a story. Uh-oh. I mean, it does go downhill from here because then there is a third Jurassic Park, which... I don't remember what island that is. It's one of the islands. We go back, we just can't get off these goddamn islands.
Oh my god.
And now they're just franchising the shit out of it. But I do feel this movie, too, in particular, made a lot of creative choices based on the fact that they knew they were going to sell toys. Because I remember there being more T-Rex toys. I remember even, like, the type, you know how they had, like, those cars where it was like, oh, the side, like, stretches out. And, like, those were things. And the baby T-Rex. Like, in 1993, I don't think there were toys and merchandise that were really coming out. But, like, this movie, there definitely was. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's why we had that. But it's dumb. I hate it.
Okay, so watch it or don't watch it.
If you've seen the first one, you have to watch this at least once.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to watch it, but
watch it. But I like Bridget's idea of just have an edible, and
I think it might be better.
There's going to be moments that you laugh at,
because then you'll laugh at the high.
Yeah, the fucking high.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't.
Holy it's shit. That time, and that time is me.
Woo!
Picking our next movie.
Yeah.
I am ignoring our listener pick.
Woo!
Love you. Sorry.
Love you.
Just because I'm getting back into the groove. Give me a minute.
Okay.
This is a 1990.
1990. Okay. Wee.
I want to read the sentence because I don't know if you'll get it.
Okay.
A young boy, just short of a monster, is adopted by a loving man and his wacky wife. The laughs keep coming as the boy pushes them to the limits.
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
What are we watching?
Is this a scary movie?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay. You're sure?
Nope.
Is it Macaulay Culkin?
Nope, but you'd think it'd be him.
Oh.
John Ritter was in it.
Problem Child? I thought we were about to do The Good Son. And
I would die.
Sweaty. And the line where it says pushes them to the limits, I was like, he does try to push the mom off the cliff, and I hate it.
No, this is funnier.
My God.
Problem Child.
Oh my God. John Ritter, respect.
Talk about a movie that just tells you, or the title that just tells you what it is, folks.
I mean, I'm gonna definitely have opinions about this. I can't remember the last time I watched this, but I do remember the little redhead devil child.
I remember the cockroach scene where he, like, lets out the cockroaches and then they're, like, eating it in the lettuce or something. I feel like that was something.
Wasn't there a girl, too, on a
That was Problem Child 2.
Ride?
Yes, that I tell you every now and then Kate gives me vibes when she gives people dirty looks. Because
wait, maybe that's why I'm thinking of that. I'm like, why is that in my brain? That's so funny. This little red-haired boy. Oh my God, I wonder what he's doing in life. We'll find out next time. Oh, and he dresses up as the devil! For Halloween! That's so fucking funny.
I can't wait.
Oh my God. Oh, good pick.
Woo!
Well, Bridge, just want to say.
Yeah.
If somehow, some way, a rich white man who was our brother, but in costume, somehow persuaded us to go to a dino island. And it was just not good. Bridge, I would just, like, get the snacks and waters, and I'd be like, you know what? We're just gonna live in the high. You and me, and we're gonna throw away the remote. And we just live here now, because that's how we know we'll live. And I'd do that for you. Make sure we live.
And I would take all the secret equipment and just basically build a bridge back to New Jersey.
Oh, thank God.
And we'd get out of there in a hot minute, not
Costa
deal with
Rica
anybody.
to New Jersey.
Just to save us. I would take all their equipment in the middle of the night and just go get out of town.
I love that. Honestly, why didn't we just bring our own boat? You know, I feel like
Right?
that we had plenty of vehicles. We could have brought a boat, but we didn't, and it's fine. It's fine. And listeners, if you also had questions about
Oh my God.
the plot and the choices and many things. And if you think that, like, I don't care about the T-Rex's, like, family, I mean, that's, like, so nice, but I don't, like, it doesn't keep me awake at night, like,
Correct.
if I know or don't know, so, like, let's move on. And if you think that Vince Vaughn was not the solution, and he just thought he was, and nobody corrected him, and really the wrench might have been the solution, or, I don't know,
or
something.
helicopters.
Or probably a helicopter, you should write us a review.
Hey!
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request will go on a list. And we look at the list every now and then. And we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can just give us money.
Yeah!
And we're not like the board that would take dinosaurs and bring them to San Diego. We just let them live in the island. Because there's no swimmers, and we would just let them stay there and not waste your money that way. We would probably just, like, go buy coffee, maybe have a dinner, maybe give Katie a break.
We're not making a little
lawn.
dino zoo, diorama to persuade you. Like, we've got better things to do with our time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also, we do merchandise. And, that's fun. And it isn't little dinosaurs or, like, cool cars with the seats that go out, like Katie said. But I guess we could get to that level. We're not there yet. We need a couple more reviews.
I don't know. I wrote a note where I was like, why didn't Elon Musk make that yet? And not because I want it to exist, because I absolutely don't, but just because he's so dumb that, like, I feel like that's something he'd be like, we need that. And then everyone else is like, we don't. And then it gets made. And
I think between Jeff, Bill, and Elon, there's got to be a dino island somewhere. Right?
Well, if there is, this is a lesson. I didn't make this point before. I'm going to say it now. If you learned anything from this movie, it's the importance of letting your dog sleep inside your home. Because if a dino is on the run, they're at risk. Okay? I don't like it. They should be curled up on your couch. Yes, like Penny Pinkleton, curled up on the couch.
Take care of your dogs. Keep them inside.
Put them inside. Thank you. Good night. Okay.
All right, but you know what? We got bigger problems, and it's a little 6-year-old. Okay,
I'm ready.
See it. We're gonna check it out next week. With Problem Child.
Ready. All right. We'll see y'all next week for Problem Child.
I love you.
I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vince Vaughn, you ruined the movie. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.